Well, hello, my beautiful ones. How are you? Did you miss me? I'm back. So, pardon me if I coughed during this. It has been like a month of me being ill with the flu and the bronchitis and complications with that. And it's funny because in my chart, I didn't have a lot of 12th house stuff going on. 12th house stuff means like you've isolated, there are things coming in, there's things that you need to complete. But I have Saturn in my 11th, which has to do with groups. So it's almost like the universe was saying in my chart, you got to get some stuff balanced and figure out how you're going to do this to get to that next level. So I'm back. Again, if I cough, I apologize, but I really wanted to talk about this eclipse, this full moon. We got a lot of stuff going on. I've really missed you guys. I miss being on here every day with you, but for a while I couldn't even talk without coughing, and I had tried. For those of you that are getting this flu or haven't gotten this flu, or either one, like be really careful, because you feel like you're going to get better and then you go down and then you go up and then you go down. So it's just a really nasty bug for whoever's getting it. Those of you that haven't gotten it, be very careful. But for those of you who had, you got to rest. You just got to rest. And so there were some days where I thought I could do a video and then I just couldn't. And then I would see a client and then I was back down. Like it was just up and down for me for a month. So thank you everyone for joining me. I so missed you, beautiful ones. I want to talk about this. We've had the eclipse, the lunar eclipse this morning. We had the super blue moon. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that. I've got the sun, the moon, and this is what I consider the ascending, because the ascending is more of your placement in this world, your sort of you and your higher self, the things the way that you came to be in this world. So your identity in this world, right? So I want to talk about that because I'm going to go over the signs and what the eclipse is activating, which house for each sign. I will try to make it. I may have to like cut this off and then come back to it because of my voice. But so let's get started. There's a lot of information. This may be a little longer video than y'all are used to, but I haven't talked to you guys in so long and we have some information to give you. So when I'm going to do the signs talking about the eclipse, I'm going to do it from your ascending, which is what I said, your identity, your placement in this world. Like this is the fated stuff. This is the contractual stuff that you like. Contract is kind of the only word we know to put to it, but it's bigger than a contract, but it's kind of what we understand as humans. So the contractual stuff from relationships and things and situations that you have when you come into this life, or the fated, the destiny, you can call it destiny, you can call it fate, you can call it karma, you know, all that stuff, the stuff that's going to come to you because it was part of your path anyway. So it doesn't matter about belief systems, or it doesn't matter about whether you believe it's going to come or not. If it's supposed to be on your path, it's going to come. Okay, so that's kind of the ascending. So when I'm doing this, when I'm talking about the eclipse, that I'm going to go by your ascending. But you have the sun and you have the moon as well. And everybody knows their sign kind of by their sun. I mean, you guys are really evolved, so you understand more about your ascending. But the sun is sort of the thing that shines. And the way I like to explain the sun is your consciousness. It's your free will. So it's like a situation or a person or a relationship or something comes to you, and then you have the choice. So you get the choice. It's sort of where your free will is. It's like these things come to you and you get the choice how to react, how to do this, what you want to do with this or not want to do with this, whether you want this in your life or not. Like that's from your sun. That's your consciousness, right? So that's what I consider your sun. When you're looking at things from your sun, or when you're looking at the house that your sun is in, that's what's going to shine. That's what's going to be illuminated to you. That's what you're going to make decisions about when those things come, right? Or those are the things that you're actually going to see coming to you, right? So, or things that you're working on to get to, if that makes any sense. Okay, so then we have the moon. So the moon has to do with your emotional connection here to humanity, to people, to situations, to everything. It's your outlook on the world. It's the way that you view the world. It's the way that you react, right? It's your emotional connection. So when you're looking at things from your moon, you're going to be looking at that emotional connection. Emotions can be happy, sad, mad, anger, fear, whatever. It can be all kinds of emotions. Love is one of the emotions. Bliss, sadness, all kinds of emotions. But when you're looking at the moon, that's what you're looking at it from, okay? So you're looking at it from that aspect. I know I talked about this in an other video and tried to explain the sun, the moon, the ascending. This is just refreshing you guys. So again, the ascending is that fated destiny, karma stuff that it's already on your path. This doesn't have to do with belief systems. So whether you believe you're going to get it or not has nothing to do with it. If it was meant to be, if you have contracts with people or what we consider contracts, this is fated destiny stuff. If you're looking at your sun, this is stuff that you want to get to, or things that are coming to you, and you make that conscious decision. It's your free will. When you're looking at the moon, you're looking at that emotional connection, the reaction that you have to people, to things, to situations, right? So that's the connection with the moon. Now, they're bigger than this, but I don't want this whole video to be about this. I will make a separate video where I go deeply into each one of them. And I'll probably start having classes this year about all of this stuff. So, well, not probably, I am. It's on my schedule to do it. So, so that's the sun, the moon, and the ascending. So let's talk about the eclipse. So we had these eclipses back in the summer, remember? So like 6 months ago, we had the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse, right? So the lunar eclipse is in Leo, which means it's reactivating that area of your life again, okay? That means whatever in lunar with the full moon. So let me speak about eclipses. Eclipses are, if you think about what an eclipse does, is it goes over that particular thing and it hides the light. So it would hide the lunar or it would hide the solar, right? And if you think about it that way, you can think of that energy being cut off and then restarting. So you're going to cut off and at 0 point energy to restart everything, right? Or whatever needed to be let go of is going to be let go of. And you're letting go of things and moving forward. Okay, so that's what this lunar eclipse is about. It's eclipsing, right? So with it being the full moon, we know that the full moon is about completions, okay? Because we've got so many things going on in the sky, and there was a lot of things I needed to talk to you about, but I'm trying to just shorten it up. So whatever had been going on, or whatever you started about 6 months ago, maybe 5 for some of you, maybe 7 for some of you, but whatever you started after that or during that or right before that eclipse, whatever you had started and had continued to kind of work on, doesn't mean you had to work on it every day, but it was sort of in your forethought. When things came up, you handled it. Maybe it didn't go your way, but you were looking towards where you wanted to be with it. These areas of your life that were illuminated or activated, as we call it in astrology, those houses that were activated at that time are being activated again. So that means completions, changes, and faded stuff for wherever the eclipse is going on in your chart, okay? So I'm going to be looking at your ascending, but you can look at your sun and your moon as well. Just remember, from your ascending, you're going to have the faded stuff, the destiny, the karma. From your sun, you're going to have the conscious decisions, the things that you're trying to make happen, okay? So I hope that makes sense. I'm trying not to take too long with this. So whatever was going on 6 months prior that you had started, you should now, in this next, it's going to be going on for 3 months, but probably 45 days is what you'll feel at the most. That's going to become completed. Those things are going to be completed. You're moving into the next level or the next phase of this, like moving on or moving forward. So that's what's going to be highlighted for you right now. And if you guys can think of, what was I doing 6 months ago? What did I begin to do? What projects did I begin? What things that I want to move forward in? That's what's going to be completed now. Like maybe it wasn't able to be completed because you know, I don't know, it could be several things. Like maybe I began to look at a house and then I wanted to buy a house and then I was looking, pardon me, I'm so sorry. Maybe I wanted to look at a house and maybe I was looking at a house and then maybe I was looking at several houses and maybe it didn't come through yet. Like now would be the time, if you have been working on it, it's going to highlight eclipsed and you're going to be receiving gains and benefits from these things. Okay. So I hope that makes sense. I hope I'm not speaking too fast. So you can think of the eclipse as results, changes, or fated destiny karma stuff. Okay. That's going to be coming. All right. Now, saying all of that, every sign is going to have something happen, right? To what degree and how much energy will depend on your chart. So what I'm going to do is highlight 4 of the signs and give you the degrees of those signs that will be most affected. But don't think that you others won't be affected, because everybody has every sign in their chart. You have all the energy. You always have. Okay? But if your ascending sun, moon, or ascending are in Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, or Taurus, you're going to be most affected if you have 7 through 15 degrees. Okay? So in that window. But those of you that have 6 and 16, or, you know, and through the 30, doesn't mean that you're not going to be affected. You're going to be affected as well. But these people, or you that have Leo or Aquarius or Scorpio or Taurus in 7 to 15 degrees, you will have like the life-changing stuff. You'll have like the life-changing stuff. I mean, and it kind of depends on your aspect. Like, what if you've been looking at things very clearly and carefully and been working on things as they come to you? How is that life change going to happen? Like, is it going to be a slap in your face, or is it going to be some excitement that you changed, right? That kind of depends on your path. Everybody's path is different. This is why people see me professionally and personally, so that I can look at all this stuff for you and we can kind of look at that, because everybody is different. You have your own blueprint. So again, Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, and Taurus. If you're between 7 and 15 degrees, you're going to be like the most affected with this eclipse, with this lunar eclipse and the full moon going on. Okay. And again, this eclipse, is going to be the energy you're going to see. Like, you're not going to see the completion today or tomorrow. Some of you might, but not everybody. It's going to be affecting you prominently for the next 45 days. But for the next 3 months, it's going to be affecting all of you. So prominently, all of you for the next 45 days, but it'll affect you up to 3 months. So in the next 3 months, especially in the next 45 days, you're going to have a lot of completions. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. All right? So, what I was talking about this lunar eclipse is what's your attitude and what's your aspect in these situations, or in this area of life that's being lit for you or being activated. That's going to determine how these changes are met, right? Because some of you, if there are things that have been coming up in your life, pardon me, I am so sorry. If there are changes that have been coming up in your life and you're neglecting them, or you're like, I see you, but I don't want to deal with you yet. Like, I see you, but I don't want to deal with you yet. If you've been doing that for the last 6 months, then there's going to be like a harsh change, because there's going to be changes for everybody. There's going to be changes. There's going to be results. There's going to be fated stuff. This is for everyone. So depending on how you've handled that in the last 6 months will depend on how those changes affect you, right? I'll give you an example. What if you had to move from your house, right? Or had to leave your house, and then you had to move to a different place. And it seems like such a harsh thing, because you loved where you lived, you loved your house, and you're moving. But then when you get to this new place, which seems so harsh, you find that you can have such a bigger, beautiful house and a better life and better people around you and better things, and everything's just better. But it didn't feel that way because you were neglecting it. You weren't wanting to change. You didn't want to move, but it was part of your path to do it, right? And there's all these blessings over here that want to be given to you, but you're kind of being stubborn, right? So that's sort of an example of how that could manifest. Or, you know, if you have been kind of feeling like, oh, I got to move, you know, I know that it's going to be a little uncomfortable, but I trust myself. I trust my higher self. I trust God. I trust spirit. I trust my angels, and I'm going to go with it, right? And then you see, like, automatically you get something new. Automatically you get something bigger. Automatically things change really fast for you, and it's really great. And you're like, wow, this is even better than I thought it was ever going to be. Like, it just depends on your aspect. It depends on how you perceive things, okay? So, good luck to everybody. I hope this explains this. I'm now going to, I'm going to talk about each sign from their ascending. But remember, you can look at this stuff from your, and I've got notes here, sorry. And again, I apologize having to cough. Pardon me, I am so sorry. So I'm going to look at it from your ascending, but please understand you can look at it from your sun and your moon. But when you look at it from your sun, understand what you're looking at. And when you're looking at it from your moon, understand how you're going to be looking at it. And then you're ascending, okay? So let's talk about Leo, because this eclipse is in Leo. So Leo, if it's in your first house, you're ascending. We're talking about body changes and health. So these things that you've been working on in this, remember, these are results, changes, and faded stuff coming to you, okay? So if you've been working on your body and you feel like you're like getting set back and things were going forward, but then they're coming back, like if you've been starting to work out and you started to work out a regimen and then you're looking good and then all of a sudden you get, you know, I don't know, you get the flu and then you can't, and then like it's going back and forth, you're going to see in this next 3 months, especially, that it's going to be a lot easier and you're going to be complete. You're going to have a lot of completions where you're like, yay, I met my goal. Yay, I look like I wanted to. Yay, I'm feeling like I wanted to feel, or I'm feeling even better than I wanted to feel. So we're going to have a lot of body, because this is your identity. And the first house is about your identity, yourself. So you could be working on, if you've been working on in the last 6 months, from that last eclipse, about your body, you'll see changes in that. In your health, if you've been working on that, if you're taking, you know, nutrients better, if you've changed your diet, if you changed your eating habits, like all of that, you can see a lot of good results now and things coming to you in this way, okay? Now, this also has to do with, because it's your identity, especially when you're looking at it from your sun, could be something that you're really wanting in your life. Like, are you wanting a better career? Are you wanting a better lifestyle? Are you wanting a better person in your life? Are you wanting, this has to do also with what you want, okay? So you could, if you've been working on that in the last 6 months, you will now see results of that, about something that you've dreamt of, that you've been really wanting and working towards, that should be coming through. Your goals. This is also about balancing your home life and your work life, balancing your friendships and your love relationships, balancing your work life and your love relationships, balancing your friends, your work, and your love relationships. Like, this is also about balancing all of that together, like really understanding where I am in my place in this world, my identity, what I'm wanting, where my dreams are, where my goals want to be. Those you should see coming to fruition and completion. So you'll see results, you'll see changes for some of you, and you'll see faded stuff. So stuff that you didn't even know was coming, okay? This also has to do with, especially in your ascending, if one of the things that you've been wanting is to be married or to be in a solid, stable beautiful relationship, whether it's marriage or not, whether you actually get married or don't need the marriage. It's kind of, everybody's different. That could be coming through. You could meet somebody now, because if that's what you've been working towards, if you're like, I got to really work on myself so that when this person comes in, I really want a person to come in my life. That's all faded stuff too. It's preparing you for this stuff, for the person to come in, and that person is fated to come in. So that has to do with the eclipse as well. That has to do with the first house. Okay, so you can see results of that coming through. Okay, so I know a lot of you Leos are either going to be dealing with marriage or divorce, because if this no longer serves you, remember with this full moon, full moons are completions. The eclipse is about, the lunar eclipse is about completions, 0 point, starting something new, right? So I am so sorry, I'm gonna have to cough. So if you're in a solid relationship, or a long-time relationship, maybe not solid, solid is probably not the right word. If you've been in a long-time relationship and you've known that it's just not working, and you've tried your best and you've done what you could, and it's just not working the way that you're wanting for your life, we could be talking about separation or divorce. Okay, we could be talking about completion, or completing that relationship and moving into something else. Not moving into another relationship, just moving into the next phase, right? Because you're getting towards what you've called to the universe. So for a lot of Leos, you could be talking about marriage for some of you, and talking about divorce for others of you. So I'm sending you guys lots of love and light. I know that you've got a lot of changes, especially remember, if your degrees is 7, anywhere between 7 to 15, you're going to feel it the most. Those are life-changing things that are going to be happening to you. Okay? So, see if that's all I wanted to say for Leos. I think so. Well, the big thing I want to say with Leos too, and especially when your sun's in there too, with this lunar eclipse, it's going to put you at the forefront of anything that you do. So it's going to make you shine wherever you are, whatever direction that you put your focus on. So if right now family is important to you, you're going to be the center of that. You're going to shine in that. You're going to do well in that. If your focus is in romance, you're going to be the center of that. You're going to shine in that. It's going to be all about you. So these things that happen, like even if we're talking about separation or divorce, this is not somebody doing something to you. This is you taking the actions that are needed to be taken so that you can get to that next phase for your path. Okay? This isn't something where you're going to be, I'm not going to say you're not going to be hurt, because when you guys love, you love from your heart. That's a Leo. He comes from his heart, right? Or her heart. And so it's not like you're not going to be hurt, but it's not like somebody does something to you. You're going to be the center of this. So it's you in center stage. It's your actions and your decisions. It's not someone doing it and all of a sudden you find yourself in like, how did this happen? How could they do this to me? That's not what this is. This is you taking charge and understanding that maybe this relationship is just, you two have gone in 2 different directions, right? So just know that in anything that you do, wherever it's, I'll say aspected, or whatever planets are talking, because we're also talking about different planets in each of those houses too. So whatever's going on in that house for you, you're going to be center stage. You're going to be up front. You're going to be in charge, okay? And you're going to shine. You're going to shine and you're going to do well, okay? So, again, I'm sending you lots of love and light. I love you dearly, my lovely, luscious lions. So, let's move on to Virgos next. So, Virgos, my beautiful Virgos. Now, let me tell you, my gorgeous Virgos, the eclipse is going to be happening in your 12th house, sorry, 12th sign. So, we're going to be talking about results, faded stuff, changes happening, and completions, right? So, the 12th house is all about completions. So these are things that you maybe in the last 6 months. So I would say like, but 7 months you saw it really clearly, and then by 6 months after the eclipse, you thought you saw it clearly, and you're like, I don't see it clearly anymore. And that's because the 12th house was probably lit up for you. And these are things that some astrologers would call it karmic stuff that maybe you wanted to have happen. These are fated stuff. That's all the 12th house. But it caused you to be isolated too, because you had to really, what it did was it caused you to really look into that, and you couldn't see it clearly, but you were trying to see it clearly, and you were trying to get things done. And it just caused you to maybe not spend so much time with your friends and your family and like you wanted to, because you were trying to figure this out, and this was like bugging you. It was bugging. Some of these things were bugging you, right? So now is when you're going to see the results of these things that you worked so hard to clear up, and you're probably going to see them more clearly now. Like all of a sudden you're going to be like, wow, how come I didn't see it that way? Like, that's so easy, right? That's because with the lunar eclipse being in that 12th house, it's going to complete it for you. You're going to get results from that stuff that you've been working on in the last 6 months. And you're going to have changes in your life, right? So, the thing that is probably most prominent for you is that there are going to be a lot of, no, I won't say a lot. There are going to be some really important decisions and things that you're going to leave behind. But as soon as you leave them behind, something new comes in quickly, okay? Remember, I've talked about this before. I like to do, and I have that full moon ritual, the full moon steps to take. You can go look at that video about what to sort of focus on, so that, I've explained this before, we only have so much energy that we can keep in that we can run through us in this physical form, right? That's the world that we create around us. Those are the things we have, the cars, the people, the situations, the love, all of that. There's only so much energy that can run through us. And so when we hold on to things, we've asked for other things or other situations or love of our life or people in our life that we want or friendships in our life that we want. And we don't have room for them because we're holding on to this energy that we haven't let go of things, right? So, again, I'm so sorry. But it was this or not do this video at all, so I'm sorry. So this is about letting go of some things so that your blessings can come in. And you're okay with letting go of some things. You just wanted to know exactly what you needed to let go and why. And with this 12th house being activated, at some point in this 6 months, you were seeing it clearly, and then you weren't seeing it clearly. And then you were seeing it clearly. Not everybody, but I'm saying some of you were probably seeing it clearly, and they weren't seeing it clearly. And seeing it clearly, and they weren't seeing it clearly. Now you're going to complete it because you've worked on it. Now these things, results are going to come to you. Changes are going to come through. But a big part of that is as you let go of what no longer serves you, you're going to make room in your energy for these beautiful blessings to come in. And this is fated stuff too, because this is your 12th house. And this is fated stuff too, because this is the lunar eclipse. Okay? So, let me see if there's anything else. The 12th house, again, as you let go, you're going to gain. Okay? So it's not like some people who have to let go and then wait for a little bit and then get a gain. I'm seeing let go and you gain. Let go and you gain. Let go. It's like real quick. It's like as soon as one door shuts, the other one opens. That makes sense? So in the 12th house, we could also be talking about foreign travel or foreign countries. Okay? So if you've been thinking about foreign travel or dealing with foreign countries, so if you're from a foreign country, maybe we're working on immigration stuff, then you're going to get, if you've been working on it in the last 6 months and you saw a little bit of results, but then you weren't seeing it clearly, and then things were coming in and you're like, oh, it's a halt, and it was just kind of a back and forth, but you've been steadily doing what you needed to do. This lunar eclipse for this next 45 days especially, but for 3 months, you could be getting those things. You could be getting those documents. You could be traveling to foreign countries, or you could be dealing with foreign documents and people from foreign countries. Okay, so just know that that's on the horizon for you, and you should be getting completions, and either completions, changes, and faded stuff, or all three, or two out of the three. It just kind of depends on your chart. Okay, so I am going to pause for just a minute. I got to get something to drink, put a throat lozenge in my mouth, and then I will come back. I am so sorry. Alrighty then. Okay, so I apologize. Y'all probably won't see the skip, but I had to stop and start the video again. Okay, so next is Libra. So Libra, this is going to affect your 11th house. So the 11th house is where you're going to see the changes or completions or results or karmic, destiny, fated stuff. Okay. Now the 11th house has to do with groups and friends. So if you've been asking for that or working on that, working on a bigger social network, whether it's for your business or your personal, like, you should see results, or things are going to be changing for you. So if you hadn't had a lot of friends and you were wanting a lot of friends and you were sort of working towards that, you're going to see in this next 3 months where that's all going to open up for you. Maybe if you were looking at doing like working really hard on something and wanting some accolades or wanting some titles of some sort, that could be coming to you if you've been working on that in the last 6 months. So anything having to do with results that you get from other people. So you could be you could have accolades coming to you, you could have titles coming to you, you could have promotions coming to you. And you can also, in this house, I forgot too, yeah. In this house, you can also, when it's activated with this eclipse, you could see results of other people coming into your life that are very beneficial for your career or your personal life. Like, it could be a benefactor. It could be somebody that helps you, like, maybe you're in the, maybe you're an author and you're looking for somebody to, publish your book, and somebody comes in and as your friend, they read your book and they're like, oh my gosh, I have like this person, let me give your book to this person. And then they end up working for a huge publishing company, and you get, published, and you go on tour and you get this great thing, and that happened through this friend. Like, stuff like that could be happening for you in this 11th house. But it's also about expanding your social network and your social financial goals, I guess that's how you can say it. So that's for Libra in the 11th house. So we're looking at your social group coming. We're looking at, or your social group expanding, and that's kind of up to you, whatever you're wanting to do, Libra, and whatever you've been working on in the last 6 months. So that should be having, so like if you were trying to expand your social group, or you were trying to expand some project that you wanted to expand on, and it was kind of coming through, but it wasn't, and you've been sort of steadily working on it, but you didn't see much results from it, now is the time that you're going to see the results from it, okay? And accolades should be coming to you as well. So congratulations. Just remember, if it's from your ascending, it's fated. If it's from your sun, you'll see it coming. You've worked so hard for it. If it's from your moon, you have that emotional value or reaction to it. That makes sense? Okay. So, congratulations, Libra. I know a lot of Libras have been working really hard at this, and it looks like you're finally going to be seeing some results for these efforts that you've been putting in. Okay. The other thing too is the 11th house is about gains. So whatever this is, you're going to be gaining. You're going to be expanding. Okay. So, and again, it's different for everybody depending on your chart. Now, Scorpio, my beautiful Scorpios, because y'all have been working really hard too, like really hard. And we know Jupiter's in your sign, so you've really been going deep and working hard. So, Scorpio, this is going to, the eclipse is going to be in your 10th house. I'm not sure if I said this with the North Node. See, there's so many things happening. Okay, I'll say this a little later. So, Scorpio, Leo's going to be in your 10th house. The eclipse is going to be in your 10th house, or it was in your 10th house. So you're going to see the results, completions, changes, or faded stuff, or all three, or all four, in your 10th house. So the 10th house is about what? Promotions. It's about your persona. It's about what you decide to do in this world. It's about how people view you, how you are viewed in this world, your status in this world. So you could be receiving promotions, or your position changes, and this is stuff that for you from your sun or your moon, this is stuff you could have been working on. From your ascending, this is stuff that maybe you started working on it 6 months ago, and then it just sort of dwindled down, but it's going to be picked up again. This is going to be highlighted again, and now it's time for completions. If it was fated to happen, or if it was destiny to happen, or if it was part of your karma for it to happen, if that's your belief system, then that's what's going to happen anyway, okay? So your careers could be changing. Your bosses or your supervisors could be changing. If you work for a bigger organization, they could be changing, like not the whole organization, but you could be having different departments move, or you could be having something that affects you in that way. These projects, if there were projects that you started 6 months ago and you've been sort of working on it, to have to do with your career, to have to do with your persona in this life, you should see results of that now. But again, if you haven't been working on it and it's been coming to you and you've been ignoring it and deciding not to work on it, there could be a crisis. There could be something happens, because you're going to change. It's going to change. This is for all signs I'm talking about. You're going to change. It's going to change. And so if it's been coming to you and you've been ignoring it, you see it, you're like, I see you, but I don't want to work on you yet. I see you, but I really don't want to do it. I see you, but I'm not ready, right? If you've been ignoring it and it's been coming and it's been coming, it could come in as a disruption. It could come in as like a slap in the face, right? So it just kind of depends. I don't want to scare anybody, but I want you to know when it changes, it's because this is what you've called in your life. This is what you called to the universe. This is what you called to your higher self, to spirit, to God, to whoever you call to, right? This is what it's working, getting you towards where you're wanting to be, right? And so this is sort of the time where it's like, let's go. We got to get going. We got to do this, right? So always, it's in the right timing. It just kind of depends how you're going to view it, because of what your aspect is, what your nature is. Is it that, you know, I see this and I know I don't want to work on it, but I got to work on it, so I'm going to do it, right? Or is it that I see this and I'm not really wanting to work on it yet. I'm going to handle you in a minute. I'm going to handle you, and you just keep putting it off, That could come in as a disruption, okay? My beautiful Scorpio, but I know that y'all been working hard. I know that you've been going deep, deep, deep. So, some of it might seem like a disruption for a minute, and then all of a sudden you'll see that better path. You'll see where things are coming into you, where these dreams that you'd said, it's going to open up. You're going to be like, whoa, you know, I thought it was going to be a bad thing, and it just turned out to be a great thing. It was so easy, and everything just opened up, and I got the finances for it, or somebody came to me with something, and it just got bigger, and oh my gosh. And because you've already been working on your ascending, Jupiter in your ascending, I kind of feel like it's not going to be that much of a disruption, and I kind of feel like even if it's a disruption, it's going to help you. You're going to gain something very quickly. It's not going to be as bad as you think as the initial shock. Okay. That's not for everybody. That's just for some of you that I'm saying. Now, I know I went off topic with Jupiter, but that's because you guys have Jupiter in your ascending. So, anything that goes on in this 10th house for you, it is going to be a gain. Even if it doesn't look like it is in the beginning, it's going to be a gain for you. Okay, because this is the eclipse, and this is a full moon, and this is about you gaining. This is about you moving forward and gaining what it is that you're really wanting. Okay, so congratulations, my Scorpios. I am very happy that Jupiter is in Scorpio, because it is about time for this world to change the way that it's supposed to be changing. So thank you very much, Scorpio. I love you guys. So my beautiful Saggies, it's going to be in your 9th house. Pardon me, I have got to cough, sorry. I should probably cover up my mic when I do that. I'm so sorry. So Sagittarius, my beautiful Saggies, it's going to be in your 9th house. So what's the 9th house about? Well, the 9th house is already your house. So with it being activated, it's like you're at home with this, okay? So these things that you're not afraid, so because sometimes you don't, I mean, Sagittarians don't like, I'm not saying they can't do it, because they can, but they don't like to go really deep emotionally, or sometimes they don't want to cause a ruckus or ruffle some feathers, you know, and so they'll tend to like step back from things, right? I'm not saying that you're afraid. I'm just saying you have this bigger understanding of the world and the universe, and so sometimes you're like, well, that doesn't really matter, and so you kind of step back from it, right? So in this house, when it's activated, you have changes or results or completions or fated destiny karmic events happening. Now, the 9th house is about your philosophy, higher learning. This is you, right? This is foreign travel, foreign documents, foreign countries that you're going to be dealing with, right? So just like I was talking about the who was in the 12th house, just like I was talking about Virgos in the 12th house, if you've been dealing with foreign documents, like you're dealing with immigration, or you're trying to do a business overseas, or you're dealing with some foreign land or some foreign people, or this could all be highlighted if you've been doing this in the last 6 months. If you've been working towards this, this is now the time that you're going to see the changes, the completions, the destiny and fated stuff, okay? So this is also a time, because we're talking about higher learning in this house, because the eclipse in Leo is in this house, you could find your guru or your teacher or your life coach or somebody that you can benefit from learning, okay? So anytime that your 9th house is activated like this with Leo in there and having the eclipse, you could find, you know, a good life coach. You could find, even if it's not a life coach, maybe it's a trainer, maybe it's a mentor of some sort if you're in marketing or sales, or maybe if you're in the entertainment business, or maybe if you're in the music business, you could find someone, it'll just come to you. They will just come to you. You don't have to go look for them. With this house being activated, if it's fated, it'll come in. If you've been working towards it, it'll come in. But you will have some sort of changes going on with this, okay? So you could also see, because your grandchildren are in here too, so you could also see, you know, if your grandchildren have been working on something, or they're trying to graduate, or they're working towards maybe a doctorate, or maybe a master's, or maybe a bachelor's degree, or maybe whatever this is, you could see them getting their titles and their promotions and their graduations, right? So That's what's going to be highlighted for you guys, Saggies. So congratulations. Just remember, there's going to be changes. There's going to be completions. There's going to be fated, destiny, karmic stuff, okay, going on. Now, if you look at it from your sun, remember, it's your conscious, it's your free will, it's what am I going to do with this situation? How am I going to make this happen? And is this a yes or a no, right? If your moon is in there, you're going to be looking at it from the point of view of this is my reaction, this is my connection, this is my emotional connection to this thing, this situation, or this person. That's how you look at that. But if it's from your ascending, it's your identity. It's part of who you are, okay? And that's destiny, karmic, fated stuff going on, okay? So, congratulations, my Saggies. Now, on to my beautiful Cappies who have had it so bad that last year or 2 years, and we are now moving into Cappy season. It is a wonderful, wonderful thing. I love my Cappies. So this is going to be in your 8th house. Excuse me, I gotta get something to drink. This is going to be in your 8th house. So, my beautiful Cappies, your 8th house, you're going to see changes. You're going to see results. You're going to see completions. You're going to see fated, destiny, or karmic stuff, okay? And you're going to see gains in these. Gains. You Cappies love gains. You know about gains because you work hard to know about gains. Your 8th house is about gaining from other people or other things. Or so financially, you can gain from others. Like somebody, it could be inheritances, or it could be a loan from an institute or a bank, or it could be, I don't know, an angel investor, or I don't know why I saw angel investor, but I'm seeing angel investor. Okay, so if somebody's been working hard on their getting a startup company, I don't know why I'm seeing this. So if anybody's working hard on getting up a startup company and they had that question, for some reason that popped out. So Spirit's saying this is coming to you. Okay, so now we're going back to the group. Okay, so financially gaining from others. This is also maybe your partner, maybe to help get more financial freedom in your life, you were needing your partner to get a better job or to get an easier job where they didn't have to work so much, but they're making a little bit more money or have a little bit more time for you. Whatever this is, you're going to be gaining from it. So they could be getting a new position, or they could be getting a new job, or they could be getting a promotion. Because remember, it's other people's money. It's other people's money coming to you. You're gaining from it, okay? So, we're also in the 8th house. We're talking about collaborations. So, you could be collaborating with others because this is other people. So, you could be having that. Or you also remember this has to do with judgments, with your taxes. If you've been dealing with like divorce stuff and maybe you're still in the midst of that and you're waiting for judgments, like you're going to be gaining in that. If you've been working on it and it's on your path, these are fated karmic stuff for you, okay? So, whatever this is, you could be gaining. No, whatever this is, you're going to be gaining. But whatever this is, and it's different things for different Cappies, this is what's going to be highlighted in your 8th house, okay? And this is going to be over the next, intensely 45 days, but the next 3 months, okay? So, and to what degree kind of depends on your chart. And whether it's coming from your ascending or your sun or your moon, you can kind of look at it from all three. So whatever your sun is, go look at that house. Whatever your moon is, look at that house, and or look at that sign, because I have each of the houses for each of the signs. Okay, so congratulations. I am going to do another video about Cappies, about the Capricorn energy that we've all sort of come into. This was that whole last month that I got sick. But now that it's in, I kind of want to help guide everybody to what these energies are so that we can use these energies, okay? So, congratulations, my Cappies. I love you, love you, love you. All right, my beautiful Aquas, you know I love you. You know you have a special place in my heart. So, my Aquas, you have, you know I love you. So you have the eclipse happening in Leo in your 7th house. We all know what the 7th house is, but if you hadn't heard me before, the 7th house is about relationships, but it's about people mirroring you in relationships. It's where you learn your boundaries. It's where you learn what you want, what you don't want, how you want to love, how you don't want to love, how you see relationships, what your boundaries are. So with Leo being lit up with this eclipse in there, you're going to have, if you've been working towards this, and I know a lot of you have, a lot of you had been working in your relationships with your businesses and your relationships with your family and in your relationships, like some of you with your love, but some of you weren't doing the romance thing. You were sort of just doing the business and the other thing. So if whatever whatever was highlighted 6 months ago is going to be coming to completion, changes, fated destiny, karma stuff. Okay. So, and it has to do with relationships with money, relationships with people, relationships with business, relationships with situations. It kind of depends on what you've been working towards. Okay. So, this is what's going to be highlighted. This is what's going to be completed. I know some of you Aquas, I know because my ascendant is an Aqua, have been like working so hard on your businesses and your money and becoming more stable and doing the things that you're wanting to do that you know you wanted a partner, but you were sort of putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, right? And then when you come around, you put it off and put it off and like you'd go do this. I'm telling you, like I told the others, you're going to have changes, results, completions, karmic destiny stuff in this house. Now, how you perceive it depends on what you've been doing with it, okay? I'm talking to you this way, Aqua, I love you. But I know how you do. So, you may have, if you haven't had a partner, it may be time for your partner to come in. I know some of you want to hear it and don't want to hear it, but it may be time for your partner to come in, okay? Now, for others of you that have a partner, have had a long relationship or in a marriage, if it is no longer serving you, if it is time to change and you didn't want to do it because you don't want to hurt them, because you don't want to do this again, for whatever reason, right? If you've been denying it, if you've been not seeing it, if it's been coming to you and you keep going and doing something else, it's going to come in as a disruption. Okay? I can speak to you this way because I love you, Aquas. But sometimes you stand in your own way. So, how are you going to see this? How are you going to perceive this? Just know that your relationships are changing. And if it no longer serves you, if it is time to move to that next phase, and you're being stubborn and don't want to do it, but you want to do it, it's going to happen. Okay? So just understand, some of you could be talking about marriage and some of you could be talking about divorce. It kind of depends on your path. Everybody's path is different and everybody has different phases of their life, right? So, relationships are what you're going to be dealing with in this next 45 days, especially the next 45 days, but 3 months. Kind of depends. Some of you are going to meet the love of your life. Others of you, it's time to move forward. So I love you, love you, love you, my Aquas. Good luck. I know because my ascending is an Aqua. Okay? All right, now my Pisces. Hello, my beautiful Pisces. So, Pisces, it looks like it's going to be in your 6th house. Pardon me. Covered up the mic this time. I'm not sure if that helped. So, Pisces, it's going to be in your 6th house. I apologize for coughing. 6th house. The eclipse is lighting up that 6th house. It's activating that 6th house for 45 days especially, but for the next 3 months. And you will see results of the things that you've been working on. Fated karma, destiny stuff. You will have changes in your life, in this sixth house, in this area of your life. So what is the sixth house about? Well, the sixth house is about your work, and it's about your day-to-day living and your health. Okay, so you're going to have changes going on in this. Okay, so if you've been working on something, if you've been working on changing maybe the routine of what you're doing, changing, maybe trying to lessen your daily work, or maybe trying to increase your daily work. Like some of you, I can see where you were like, I hadn't been doing a lot, so now I want to do more. And others of you, I can see where you're like, I got to slow down and stop doing so much, right? So whatever this is going on, you've been working on this for the last 6 months. If you've been working on these projects, these things steadily for the last 6 months, you are now going to see results and completions in that. This means gains for you, okay? But if you have, if these things keep coming up and you're not dealing with them, then it can come in as a disruption. It could come in as a, so it can be either exciting or it can be a crisis, right? And it kind of depends on what you're doing. If you've been paying attention, if you've decided to sort of work on it as it comes in, maybe you didn't see results, but you're going to work on it a little bit more, right? That's going to be whatever your perception is the way it's going to come in, or you're going to see it come in, right? So just know that your day-to-day, your work, your day-to-day routine, your daily activities, that could be changing or completing. You will be getting gains in that. It could be your work that's changing. You could be gained in that. So if you've been working on a project at work, maybe you're, the project manager on something and you've been steadily working on it. In this next 3 months, especially the first 45 days, you should see completions and gains with that. Now, there's stuff in your daily life that if it's from your ascending, your fated stuff, if it's on your destiny, if it's your destiny or your karma, you could have that changing, it coming in, and you not even see it coming, okay? But whatever it is, that won't be. The fated, destiny, karmic stuff should not come in as a disruption. It should come in as something exciting, because it's fated, it's on your path, and this is about gains, okay? So, I think I said that with everybody. Did I say Taurus? Did I talk about Taurus? Oh, no, I don't think I talked about Taurus, Gemini, or Cancer. Okay, so I'm so sorry I skipped you guys. Yeah, so Taurus. Did I say Aries? No, I don't think I did. Aries, Taurus, Gemini, or Cancer. All right, so let's do Aries. Aries, it's going to be in your 5th house. So 5th house, my beautiful Aries, my ride or dies. The 5th house is about love affairs, and it is Leo. So Leo feels at home in this house, right? This house is about, it could be about your children, but it also could be about whatever you did 6 months ago with that first eclipse. If it was creating something from your heart, if it was really, truly starting a project that you really wanted to do, that you really wanted to try, that should be coming to completion. That should be you will have changes, you'll have completion, you'll have gains in that, okay? So if it's a love affair that you've been wanting, if it's a love that you've been opening your heart to, if that was your project, like you were like, I really want somebody in my life and it's really time and I've worked really hard, and that happened like 6 months ago, this could be the time. If you met somebody 6 months ago, this could be the time for it to go into that new phase. So this would be completions and gains, all right? So we could be talking about going to the next level. Maybe you're going to move in together. Maybe you'll move in together, or maybe you two move somewhere else, or maybe you move closer to her place, or maybe you move closer to his place. Like, it's a change that's going to happen, but it's going to the next level for some of you Aries. For others of you Aries, it's going to be starting that love relationship. So you could have somebody coming in that's a love affair, okay? Whether this goes to long term, that's kind of, it's different for everybody's path. But whatever it is that was coming from your heart 6 months ago that you were trying to start or you were trying to make happen, you should now see the completions, the gains, and the results. But either way, your life is changing in that area. So maybe you get the spark of creativity. Like maybe you didn't see it for a while, but now you're like, this is what I need to be doing. This is what I really want to do. And this is how I'm going to do it. And in the next 3 months, that's all going to open up for you. Okay. So that's Aries. Now, Taurians, my beautiful Taurians, we have the eclipse in the 4th house for you. Remember, Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, and Aqua. If you have 7 degrees or 15 degrees, if you're anywhere between there, if your sign is anywhere between there, you will be the most affected, life-changing stuff happening, okay? But that doesn't mean everybody else gets life-changing. Everybody else gets changes and results and completions. But it will be most affecting you guys, okay? So, but eclipses are big energy, so it affects everybody in a lot of ways, okay? So, Taurus, the 4th house, you will see results. You will see karmic, destiny, fated stuff. You will see completions, and you will see gains in this, okay? The 4th house is about your home. So you could be actually changing your home. You could be gaining property if you've been working on it. Whatever happened 6 months ago, you're going to complete now. Whatever started happening 6 months ago, you're going to have results from and completions. You're going to have changes in, and if it's fated, I could see some of you moving. I can see some of you gaining property. I could see some of you gaining money. I can see some of you gaining homes. Or, depending on your situation, I could see you changing in that. So you could be changing homes. You could be changing properties. You could be changing in your money. You could be changing in your family life. Whatever this is, it's affecting your 4th house. So it's affecting you in this area. And this kind of depends. It's time at that full moon to let go so that other things can come in so that you can move into the next phase, okay? Now, Gemini, we are talking about your 3rd house. Now, Gemini is the 3rd house. I mean, just like Sag is comfortable in the 9th house, Gemini is comfortable in that 3rd house, okay? That's your house. So, the 3rd house is about communication, right? The 3rd house is about you voicing your way to the world, your opinion, your voice in the world. What are you going to do? So you could be having changes. Remember, with this eclipse and full moon, it's changes, completions, it's destiny, it's fated stuff, it's karmic stuff that's going to be coming to you, having to do with marketing, having to do with writing. So if there was a book that you're trying to write, if there is something that you've been writing that you could be completing now, if there is marketing that you've been trying to figure out a way to do, you could be doing this in the next 3 months, or especially 45 days. You will be gaining in this. You will be getting more clear in this. You will be able to voice this more, right? So also media. This is all expanding for you. So this has to do with your siblings too, and your neighbors. So, and your businesses, right? So you could be dealing with siblings. I know my son is Gemini, and I was dealing with siblings. So you could, by the way, thank you, my beautiful Cancer sister, if she sees this. I had the flu, like y'all can hear that, but I was so sick for such a long time, and she was taking care of me the whole time, so I want to thank her. Thank you, my beautiful sister. She's the Cancer. There's nothing like being sick around a Cancer. Like, they give you all the love in the world. I love it. So, thank you. So, you could be dealing with your siblings. You could be dealing with your neighbors. You could be dealing with your businesses. And this is about voicing and communications in that. So, with this being lit up for the next 3 months, you're going to get very clear. You're going to be able to communicate this. You're going to be able to move forth in this. And then whatever happened 6 months ago with this, if you started stuff 6 months ago, you're going to see the completions. You're going to see the gains. You're going to see the changes. Okay? So congratulations, my gems. I love you, love you, love you. this, I just got this. And so for you gems, some of you, if you were switching if you're switching positions, it's going to be better. Like even if you finally voiced your opinion, you had to leave a position or you had to leave a company, wherever you're going, it's going to be better. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be more. Just know that. That's what Spirit's telling me, okay? For some reason, yeah, I'm getting that. So, especially if you do marketing, especially if you do promotions, especially if you're writing a book, anything that has to do with communication, it's going to get bigger, okay? So congratulations. I don't know if that was like a big question for a lot of you, but that was the answer. So, last one, my beautiful Cancers. So, Cancer, this is going to be in your second house. The eclipse happened in your second house in Leo, so Leo's in your second house. First of all, Leo's in your second house. Come on. Leo is all about beautiful things and coming from your heart and being creative. And Cancer creates from their heart too. They know how to do that. So I would see that you Cancers, your finances are going to get better. Your investments are going to come through. Remember, this is about changes. This is about destiny, karma, or fated events. And this is about completions and gains. Okay? So I can see if you've invested time, money, anything, it's going to come forth to you. You're going to get changes, completions, karmic stuff coming to you, fated stuff coming to you. So I can see you gaining in investments. I can see you gaining in your finances. I could see you gaining in maybe a better house, maybe a bigger house, maybe a better place to live, maybe a better car, whatever this is, because the second house is about the value you put onto your identity. So, like, I've explained this before, like, my house is part of my identity because I worked so hard to get that house, and then I bought that house, and I'm proud of that house, but that house is part of me, and I decorated it the way that I want. That's the second house, okay? Or your car, or your investments, or your finances, or, you know, whatever this is, you're increasing in it and you're gaining in it. And whatever you started 6 months ago, if you started something 6 months ago and you've been steadily working on it, it looks like in the next 3 months, you're going to be really gaining in this, really expanding in this, really, finances are going to come through in this, okay? Or your investments are going to come through. So whatever in time and money and energy that you've invested in these last 6 months for this, it's going to come through fruition in a big way. So congratulations. I see you're going to be increasing your resources. You're going to be increasing your resources. So I see your lives getting bigger. I see your lives getting more. I see that you're finally out of that for the last 2 years, up and down, stuck, up and down, things happen. So I'm seeing where you're finally breaking through this. Okay, so congratulations, my Cancers. I think I hit everybody. If I did not, I will come back and do whoever I missed, but I don't think I missed anything. Let me make sure that I have everything. There was something I wanted to say about Leo and Aqua, but I had so much to say, so let me just make sure. Just a second. No, I think I said, oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to talk about the North Node. Sorry, hold on just a second. Again, pardon me. Okay, so the North Node is with Leo, right? So that's in this house where Leo's at. Wherever Leo's at and wherever this house is activated, this is your North Node too. So with the North Node, if it being the sign of Leo, it's going to be giving you big surprises, right? So your North Node, remember, are those things that you came here to master, the things that you wanted to do more, the things that you wanted to accomplish. And it feels like it almost can become an obsession for you. For your North Node can become an obsession. It's like, I think I have it and I want to get it. So what, with the North Node being activated in Leo with that, I can see a lot of you getting a lot of big things coming. Okay. So I just wanted to talk about just the North Node very quickly and talk about how that's enhancing that Leo or enhancing that house, and how you could be receiving bigger things or bigger changes in your life. So I think that's it. Yeah, it's going to be activated. I think we're done. So thank you so much for watching me. I know this has been a long video. I will be putting out the dailies. Get ready for that. So as my voice gets better, I am working on the dailies now, but I really, really wanted to get this out tonight. And I apologize for it to be so long. If somebody can go back and timestamp everything, that would be wonderful for me. I so appreciate it if you could timestamp it in the comments. And also, let me know how you're doing in the comments below. I love to hear from you. I miss you guys dearly. Can't wait to get back going again. I have really missed being with you guys. I don't think you understand how much a part of my life that you are, and how much I truly, truly, truly appreciate you. If you've never seen me before, thank you so much for watching. I promise they won't be this long videos. I also wanted to say my website is down in the links below if you're wanting services with me. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Cindy. I am the Modern Day Spiritual Advisor. I use multiple modalities to help you on your path. So I will see you guys soon. I am going to be doing a live this weekend. Love you, love you, love you. Bye.